Well, one of the biggest things, one of the biggest gems my dad dropped on me was just to be very punctual and how that affects your career. And at a young age, you don't even really think it really does because you see so many people getting there when they feel like it shows. You get there in the hour, at the hour you're supposed to get there, and it doesn't start to 2 hours later. And this is like the regular, this is the norm. So it really didn't mean that much to me, but I kept it with me and made sure that I tried my best to be as punctual as I could and as professional as I could. And here we are this many years down the line, and just that little bit of advice and keeping hold of that has held so many rapports for me that I see how valuable it was and why he was so adamant about making sure that I knew the importance of being punctual and being professional and getting there and doing your job and not partying on the job, but doing your job and going somewhere else to party. One of the biggest lessons I learned on my journey in music is to be knowledgeable of every aspect. Don't trust people to do their jobs, especially if you're the type of person that wants to help everybody and wants to see everybody win, because that means you are going to take your friend, your uncle, your cousin, who doesn't necessarily have the experience that it takes to carry that. And a lot of times they're going to drop the ball. And that's really kind of your fault because you put them in that position, whereas you could have put someone who had experience in that position to do their job and it would have gotten done. So, yeah, my biggest advice would be that everybody can't go. You know, as bad as you may want them to go, everybody cannot go. Okay, my biggest musical influences, of course, is my dad. He's amazing. I mean, he's got 8 Grammys. He's continued to evolve in an industry that's dwindling and almost extinct. And his perseverance, you know, his drive, his love for what he does is always kind of my foundation and my security blanket for me to continue to pursue and stay consistent. As far as hip hop, I liked the Moni Loves. I liked the 5 Footer Crews out of the Bay. I liked the more of the underground, the indie artists, more so than the ones who were more mainstream, because I know personally as an artist, once you get to that mainstream level, there are a lot of creative influences that they force in there on you. So a lot of that music is not necessarily yours. It's a collective effort that you put together with your label, with the producer, with the writer, with a musician and things like that, versus the indie artists don't have access to those kind of resources, so they still very raw, you know what I mean, and just still themselves. So I always kind of gravitated to that because I never wanted to lose that. Okay, you got a Queen Latifah, and then you had a Moni Love. Like, even though she was kind of in the industry, had her deals and stuff going, she was still more kind of the underground sound because you didn't really hear much of her. And then this group that was called the 5 Footer Crew that was out of the Bay. And the biggest song that the 5 Footer Crew had was on the Menace to Society soundtrack. And it was called Walk Away. It was 5 different women, 5 different styles, and they all held their ground. And I just, you know, that's just what I gravitate to, good music. I'm not going to accept an artist just because you put this big production behind them. I got to feel it. And I got that from them. So they were big, those, Moni, 5 Footer Crew, big influences on me. Another artist from Chicago by the name of Strings. She was kind of signed to R. Kelly for a little while, and then she went down south and got with Cash Money. Just like sticking to the roots. Those are the artists that I like.